As Meetings Africa gets underway in Johannesburg, SA Tourism says at the heart of the event lies a deep commitment to empowering small, medium and micro enterprises. 113 SMMEs are among the 410 exhibitors who will be showcasing their businesses to more than 300 buyers and 26 African countries represented here. Meetings Africa 2025 takes place during an important year for the country as it hosts the G20 summit. SA Tourism CEO Nombulelo Guliwe says South Africa's G20 presidency presents a fantastic opportunity to showcase and amplify the tourism and business event sectors. Well, for more on this, we cross to SABC senior economics reporter Liabo Setho, who joins us right now. Thanks very much, Liabo, for joining us. It's over to you.
Thanks, Nompu. As you've pretty much summed it up with the intro there, I have been deliberate in standing where I'm standing because behind me actually is that you can see that all these exhibitors that you referred to in your intros, they're getting busy, they're setting up. So as of tomorrow, the picture is going to be quite different. And earlier today, we had a keynote address from the board chairperson of SA Tourism, who made a call about how small businesses needed to be supported and elevated. This is an important Meetings Africa, or an important event that happens alongside the G20. In fact, it is part of the G20 because the G20 is a meeting. But I'm sure a lot of our viewers at home have a lot of questions, especially with the whole load shedding having happened, that what picture are we painting to visitors that are coming to South Africa? I don't have the answers, but maybe someone that does have is the GM of Communications at SA Tourism, Ms. Thandiwe Mathibela, who will tell us about what we can expect over the next 3 days here at Meetings Africa. Thandiwe, thank you so much for your time. Firstly, let's address the issue of the load shedding. You know, when you're having a meeting as big as this, or an event as big as this, the last thing one needs to hear is that there won't be lights. How does this now stand in the way of what you're trying to achieve?
Thank you so much, Liabo, and good afternoon to all your viewers at home. The beautiful thing about having quality venues and facilities that we have here in South Africa is that we are able to be geared up for such events. Of course, load shedding is not ideal, and it is something that we really welcome when it does not happen, because it means that, you know, we're able to plan better. But also when load shedding does happen, we do at least know when it's going to happen and we prepare accordingly. And fortunately for us, for this particular event, we are at the Sandton Convention Center, and they are fully geared up to be able to take care of load shedding.
Yeah. To be able to contribute to the 8.8 contribution to GDP that the tourism industry does, so MICE becomes very important, because we held a lot of these, and G20 being one of them. How are you bringing in everything, that all the ministers that were here last week, those that are in Cape Town right now, how are we putting all that together so that they experience the best that South Africa has to offer, not just Johannesburg, not just Cape Town?
Correct, and thank you so much. I'm really happy that you're mentioning not just Johannesburg and not just Cape Town, because absolutely there's a concerted effort by the tourism industry as a whole to make sure that we profile our smaller provinces as well. The G20 summit, where the tourism ministers will meet, as an example, will happen in Mpumalanga later on in the year. And also just on G20, thanks to our partnership with the various government establishments, including DIRCO as well as GCIS, we are all collaborating to ensure that we profile our SMMEs in all sorts of various ways, whether they are arts and crafters, or whether they are bringing culture, or whether they also are bringing tourism experiences. Because when they are here and they're here meeting in the corridors of our very quality assured venues and facilities, when it's time for downtime, we are hoping that they'll be able to experience our hospitality, our restaurants, and actually get to sample some of our tourism experiences. And that is how we're looking forward to the G20 contributing to tourism.
A sector that's very close to my heart, the SMMEs. Tell us about the journey of those 113 that will be exhibiting here, and hopefully Nompu will be able tomorrow to be able to introduce you to some of them, of the 130 that are exhibiting here. But let's find out about their journey, and I know that there are those who are watching who are thinking, I'd love to exhibit, and also the benefits of being part of a big event such as Meetings Africa 2025 for them.
Thanks to our partnership with the Department of Tourism, we actually have 113 SMMEs that are here at Meetings Africa this year. The beautiful thing about that is that we also have buyers. Buyers are those people that actually come from different parts of the world looking for different products and experiences, to be able to sample and put in front of their clients. These SMMEs that are here at Meetings Africa then get to have access to those global buyers. And then suddenly they have clients that are beyond just the South African borders. And that is the empowerment that is Meetings Africa. These SMMEs are coming from various provinces, and they've been identified because of their offering. We are matching their offering with the kind of buyers that we have here. As an example, when we later this year go to Africa's Travel Indaba in Durban, we will have SMMEs that have got more of a leisure tourism offering, again to cater for the kind of buyers that will be at Africa's Travel Indaba. The journey is that they will then apply through our Department of Tourism and be assessed, and then we'll be able to put through in the process as part of the tourism empowerment program that we've got.
Yeah. Off camera, you and I talked about the TTOs, I think the travel operators that have been newly launched. This is part of the efforts by the Tourism Department or the Tourism Ministry and Industry as a whole to open up the tourism industry as it is. And we understand that this weekend we had the first cohort of Chinese travelers who came to Cape Town through it. Tell us a little bit more about that and what it aims to do.
Correct. Thank you so much. The tour operators, the Travel Tour Operators Scheme, TTOS, is a thing that we're doing with the Department of Home Affairs. It's a partnership with the Department of Home Affairs. One of the barriers that we've got is that people have always cited that it is difficult for big groups to be able to secure visas that allow them to enter into the country, especially big groups from China and India, and that is where the initial focus is. The idea is that it will be phased out to other countries too. So what has happened in partnership with the Department of Home Affairs is that there is now a tour operator scheme. So tour operators have been identified, and they will be able to book, get visas on behalf of these big groups. That's making it easy for big groups to be able to come to South Africa. And of course, you've mentioned the group of Chinese tourists that we welcomed in Cape Town last Saturday. It was really a beautiful thing to watch. And tomorrow, both our Minister of Tourism as well as our Minister of Home Affairs will be here, and they will be here to give an update on just TTOS. Over and above that, here at Meetings Africa, we'll also be training some of our trade members so that they are better geared to be able to apply for these visas so that we can actually welcome these big groups of people to South Africa.
Thandiwe, thank you so much for your time and getting us up to speed with what you're doing. Good luck for the rest of the 3 days of Meetings Africa. Thank you for your time. I've been chatting to Thandiwe Mathibela. She is with South Africa Tourism. She's the GM for Communications and Media. And as I said, right now, all systems going, all those that are exhibiting, all they are doing is getting prepped. Tomorrow you're going to see a completely different picture, and we're going to speak to the companies and businesses themselves, big and small, to find out about the value of being here. And we'll also look into sessions that have to do with policy considerations and other things that support the South African tourism industry, especially as it tries to recover from COVID and try to increase its share of GDP. And with that, Nombu, I'll hand over back to you in studio.
All right, thanks very much. That's my colleague there, Liabo Setho.